As soon as this starts, we're gonna go start talking about this. It's good to see you. Good to see you especially.
So the fee for buying and selling.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it both ways. Just get some clarity around it. All right, so what we're talking about today, welcome YouTubers, welcome Zoomers. It looks like I've got someone I need to welcome to the room here. Just 1 minute. Okay, so what we're going to talk about this afternoon is agent referrals. Agent referrals, that is earning money from other agents in relationship to your client activity. Keep in mind that you can make money from referring and being referred from agents, but you cannot pay referral fees to non-real estate agents. If somebody in your family or sphere or group says, hey, I have a buyer for you, pay me $1,500, you can't do that. That is a strict violation of your license. You can only pay money through a transaction for referrals from agents. Okay, so we're just talking about that today. There are 5 things I want to talk about and 1 thing I want to show you. The first thing is I want to talk about the types of referrals that are out there. Then I want to talk about what is sort of like the process for getting referrals from other agents. What is the process for sending referrals to other agents? And how you get paid. How do you get paid in these transactions? Then we're going to show you how you can use Keller Williams Command to find agents to send referrals to. And that will take us to 2 o'clock. Does that sound okay? All right. So there are 2 types of agent referrals. The first is hey, sorry, I just realized that for my folks in the office, my screen sharing stopped. So I need to find out what happened here and get the screen up. You guys saw it for a little bit, right? Maybe we never did. You didn't say.
I didn't see it. I have a question, Stephen.
Wait. Is it about this?
Yes.
Okay. What is the question?
So what about finder's fees? I've heard that you can pay someone a finder's fee.
Only another realtor. You cannot pay individuals who are not real estate agents any money for real estate stuff. End of story. No finder's fees. It's illegal. You can only pay money to other realtors yes. So let's suppose somebody refers you. There's 2 levels. Let's suppose a friend refers you a business or a colleague refers you business. You can send them a thank you note with a $10 gift card to Starbucks. Okay, very nominal. When the deal closes, you want to reward the behavior, not the result. So you send a thank you for the referral gift, a very nominal $5, $10 thank you gift. When the deal closes, it's okay to send them a thank you gift. I'm so delighted to send you this gift basket from Wine Country or this beautiful carved stone thing, whatever, a gift under $200, under $300 as a gift to thank them for sending you the business, but nothing, no cash, no money. And if you get caught doing it, you could lose your license. So this is not something to take lightly. Okay. So, did I answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. So types of referrals, let's get into that. The first type of referral is an inbound referral. Okay. So another agent approaches you and says, please be my client's agent, or please consider being my client's agent. You pay them a referral fee. The referral fee is typically in our industry is 25%, right? But it's negotiable. So maybe you ask them for 30%, or maybe if it's a special circumstance, you only ask for 20%, but you are going to pay them. And the idea there is they only get paid when the deal closes. So they ask you to be their client's agent. You're only going to get paid after it's done. If you never sell them a home, or they don't choose you or whatever, then you don't owe the money. Okay. The second type of referral is outbound. You ask another agent, hey, listen, my client is moving to Austin, Texas, and I need a good agent, and I've heard wonderful things about you. Will you be my client's agent? And then they pay you. That's sweet. That's the easy money part. Easy money. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. How do we get inbound referrals? How does it happen that Joe in Spokane, Washington calls Mahi and says, be my client's agent? How does that happen? We're going to talk about how I'm actually jumping ahead. What is the process? First, they reach out to you. Hey, I have a buyer in your area. Can you help them? Now, when they reach out to you, it could be that they know a lot about you already. They may have talked to your team leader or sales manager. They may have studied you on, stalked you on Google and read all your reviews, right? Or they may have just gotten your name from a business card and don't know anything about you. So they may know about you, they may not, right? They may say, here, Cynthia, here's the lead, here's the referral. Or they may want to interview you. They may want to ask you questions. Have you had this happen yet?
Yeah. In the command, we can go and.
Yeah, we're going to go there. I'm going to show you.
I just wanted, I'll ask.
We're going to, let's get into that a little bit later. They may want to interview you, and we're going to talk about questions you should ask as well. They may want to talk about their referral fee. So I'm going to send you my business, Mahi. I want you to pay me 25% referral fee. Do you agree? You are not obligated to take the referral. So you guys are here in Fremont. The average price point is 1.5 million. What if somebody calls you and says, I got your name. I want to refer you my mobile home buyer who wants to buy in Tracy, $100,000 mobile home. You don't know Tracy. That's way below our average price point. You may choose to say, I'm sorry, I'm not the right agent for you. So you're not obligated ever to accept a referral. Okay. When you are receiving a referral, the standard is they send you a contract. They send you a form that says, okay, I am referring my client to you, and you agree if they buy a house in a certain area within a certain amount of time to pay me 25% of the commission. If the commission were $25,000, that would be, sorry, if the commission were $20,000, 25% would be $5,000. So you would only gross 75% of the deal. Okay. The other thing you should know is that that contract that I'm talking about is signed by the broker. It's signed by Eric or Eddie in this office, and in Oakland by Eddie or their team leader. And again, it's different in Fremont. Again, in Palo Alto, it's different again. But my point is that you don't actually sign it. It's broker to broker. And you then split with the brokerage, your brokerage split afterwards. It isn't here, but I do want to point out there's no PC or mentorship on referrals that are received, that are outgoing, only on the inbound ones. So sorry, I'm jumping ahead. All right, let's keep going.
For inbound, we have to pay for PC?
Yes, if your name is on the contract you write for the new client or the listing you get with the new client, you're going to pay the PC and mentorship, but it'll be based on the number after you pay the outside person. It's based on the adjusted gross. Okay. Now let's look at it the other way. How do you send referrals? How do you find an agent for your client? So first of all, you reach out to at least 3 people. If you don't know somebody already who's perfect, you absolutely want to interview them. You want to find 3, maybe you recommend 2. Learn something about them and interview them. So when I say learn something about them, you can use KW command to find out about their volume, and other things I'll show you in a minute. You can Google them and stalk them online and see, what they're saying about themselves on their websites and stuff like that, what neighborhoods they serve. But I recommend you interview them as well. Strategies like, so tell me about how many times you've worked with step down buyers. my buyer is moving from a house to a condo. They're a little bit older. Do you have experience working with seniors? Do you have experience in this neighborhood? They really want to live in marquee neighborhood X, whatever. They want to live in neighborhood XYZ. Have you sold there? Tell me about your most difficult transaction. Tell me about your easiest transaction. Tell me about how long you've been selling in this area. We can go on and on. There's lots of questions. Tell me about your communication strategy. How do you stay in touch with your clients? How long does it take for you to find a property for your typical buyer? You can just ask all kinds of questions. It is on you when you're sending a referral to ask about, to tell them how much you want. Okay, you should say, I'm delighted to accept your referral. I charge 25%. Is that okay? They don't have to say it's okay. They may reveal their hand first. You can ask them for 30% and settle on 25%. You can say, look, this price point of 500,000 may be a lot in Texas, but here in my area, I'm normally selling $1.5 to $2 million houses. So if I take your referral, which I'm happy to do, I have to do a 30% referral fee. It's the only way I can do business, right? So don't be afraid to negotiate. They may say, no, I'll find someone else. That's the danger. But you can sort of feel that out. It depends. If it's an amazing opportunity, looks like an amazing opportunity, a serious motivated buyer with money, cash buyer, you can think about what you want to do, but the typical is 25%. Okay. Now, you do this interview of these agents. After you talk to them, you might have a bad feeling in your mouth. You may not feel that they're a good fit for your client. You're not obligated to take it any further. You don't have to refer it to your client. You're doing all this research before you give names to your client. So you might decide you don't like them. That's okay. Once you have found at least 2 agents for your client, the next step is to send them the referral contract. This earlier in the process, even before your buyer has committed to work with them, it's a good idea to send the referral contract. I know agents who will not connect the 2 parties until they have this signed contract, because it is the only way to make sure you get paid, especially somebody who's out of state, who you're just meeting for the first time. You want that agreement in writing. It's your protection to make sure you do get paid. There have been horror stories out there. Okay, so I've never had that happen, but if you don't have a relationship with the agent already, get it signed before you give up your client's contact information, right? Then they sign your contract and your broker sign, sorry, I said that wrong. Then before you send it to them, you get it signed by the broker. And then you send it out fully signed on your side, so that all you need is them to sign it and their broker to sign it, and you're all set. Okay. Does that all make sense?
Yes.
So process-wise, we know how to do this now. Okay. Now, let's suppose it's an inbound referral. It's someone that you're going to be helping. Okay. The first thing you need to do is establish that trust relationship with someone who's not your client. So, you've been referred by this agent, you're going to meet with them. Now, in many cases, they will say they won't give you a hard time. They're going to think of you as their agent because you were referred, right? So they don't have to go search for somebody. So you have an edge, but you still need to have them sign the contract to be your client. And I recommend you pin that down earlier rather than later. This is a standard of practice. The other thing you should do, because you're all professionals, is regular communication updates to the agent that referred you. I recommend, at least if it's a very active client, every week. If it's somebody who's going through a pre-approval and is still several months away, at least once a month. During escrow, at least once a week. Just want to let you know we opened escrow today, or just want to let you know I think we found the property for Bill and Susan. Just want to let you know we're writing the offer tomorrow night for Bill and Susan. Next, just want to let you know the offer got accepted. We're so excited it closes. It's closing on such and such a date. Just want to let you know we had a little wrinkle with the financing, but we got it sorted out. We're not going to close on that day. We're going to close on this day. Just stay in touch. It is courteous. If you were on the other end, if you were sending the referral out, you'd want to know what's going on, right? You don't want it to be a black hole and never hear about it again. When you do your commission demand, when you get into contract and you file with the office the paperwork, you have to put the referral on there. You have to put the outbound referral on your paperwork. So Mahi has some experience doing these demand things, so she knows what I'm talking about. So when you get a buyer under contract, you're only going to get paid if you fill out a piece of paper saying, here's how much I should get paid, that gets vetted by me while you're in PC and gets looked at by your mentor and by the office compliance people. So we all make sure it looks right. And, you know, I've had it happen so many times that I go to look at one of these for an agent in PC and they completely forgot about the referral. So they actually aren't making as much money as they thought they were. Yeah. So you got to remember to put it on the demand. Now, don't worry if you forget it, one of us will catch it, right? But the worst nightmare scenario is if you forget and the deal closes, then that brokerage is going to be saying, what happened? Oops. That happens once a year. Somebody. Don't let that happen. It's bad for your professionalism and their professionalism, and they may come back to you and take money off of your next deal. It's messy. Okay, because you owe that money. The brokerage owes their share and you owe your share, which is typically higher. So we got to be careful.
It's always good to keep in touch with the person.
Absolutely. Provide regular communication updates to the agent that referred you the business. It's good professionally, it's good for this issue, and it's also good for business in general. Like, it's good for you to remember. Maybe they do an amazing job and you decide that you're going to send them all your business that goes to that community. And you set up a deal with them. Let's do a trade, like you refer me all yours, I'll refer you all mine, because they may have business to send to you too. So yeah, it's very powerful. Now let's talk about outbound referrals. Now you're giving your client the names of those 2 agents or 3 agents or whatever. So as I said, first of all, you want to make sure your client chose one of your people, okay? If the referral agreement still isn't signed, you want to send it out immediately as soon as they have signed to work with one of that referral. You want to reach out to them and stay in touch with them the same way you were expecting you to stay, because not all agents are as well trained as you guys. Not all agents that get an inbound referral will be in touch with you regularly. So you want to make sure that you do stay in touch. How often should you call? Same common sense. If your buyer or seller that you're referring is months away, check in 2 weeks to a month at a time. But if your buyer is active and is going to be in the middle of looking for houses every week, I would check in every week, and it's simply a text message. How is the search going for Bill and Susan? It's really a simple, just a text message. It doesn't need to be fancy, okay? Now, when you send business away to other agents, you do not tell an agent you've referred to how to do their job. In fact, you stay way out of it, okay? And there's 2 ways you run into problems. Number 1, the agent tells you what's going on and they ask you for help. Be very careful. If they are out of state, it is illegal for you to give real estate advice. Your license is in California.
So what if I referred my client to one agent and he's not regularly, like, I mean, he's not
Checking up on.
checking or not checking, like he's not seeing the property for that client.
Yeah.
So what can we do?
You can tell your client that they're going to need to make a decision, that maybe this isn't the right fit for them, for the agent. You can find them another one.
Okay.
Yeah, but they may have an agreement. Until it expires, it isn't expired. So you don't know. But what I'm trying to say is, let's suppose you want to tell the agent, you're not showing them houses in this neighborhood. Why are you showing them 2-story? They only want 1-story. Stay away from that stuff. I would make sure your client tells them. You know, encourage the communication to be between your client and their agent. If it's out of state, you can't say anything anyway. If it is in state, you could talk to the agent, but only if there's a high degree of trust between you and the agent. Okay, don't interfere. Okay, it's not your client in that sense anymore. You're just getting a referral fee. They're not your fiduciary responsibility anymore.
But I
Okay.
can check with the client.
Yeah, you should know. Stay in touch with your client. It doesn't say it as a separate line item here, but you should be staying in touch with your client at least once a month. How's it going with that agent Bill? At least once a month. Okay. All right. Verify your referred client knows you are staying in the loop. Send their questions. So So this is, you're staying in touch with them. I understand how things are going. Bill and I are texting regularly. I know what's going on. Oh, that's great. Because, without you, Mahi, I don't feel as confident as I did. They're great, but they're not as good as you, blah, blah, blah. And they ask you a question. So Mahi, he told me I should do this. Again, don't answer the question, okay? Don't say, oh, what was he thinking? What a crazy thing he suggested. He shouldn't have done that. No, 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 no. If your client starts talking to you about the new agent, you send them back to the new agent. Say, here, that's a great question. Your agent should be able to answer that way better than me. They're in the ground there. They're working with you directly. And that's the way that should go. As you get closer to the closing, you want to make sure that the referral agent has signed the agreement if there's been any delays, right? Okay. How do you get paid? How do you get your money out of this? So for inbound referrals, I was talking about this before. You've been referred a client, you get into contract, you have to complete your commission demand and close the transaction. Nobody gets any money in our business until the deal is done, right? Your pay is the sale price times the commission offered minus the referral fee paid to the outside agent. So, and of course, then less PC, less mentorship, less gear split. Okay. But it starts from after they get paid first. The outside referring agent gets paid first. The person who sent you the business gets paid first. So if the total commission is $10,000 and you have a 25% deal with them, your number that you work from is $7,500. Is that clear to everybody? Okay. Now let's suppose that you send business away. You refer out a business and you're going to get paid 25%. So it is on the referred agent to advise you the transaction closed. That's why we need to keep these communication channels open, because you need to follow up on some of these people. Some of them are not going to be as good communicators as you, and they may forget to tell you. I've had it happen so many times. So, last week you told me they were writing an offer. What happened? Oh, we got into contract. Great. When's it supposed to close? I'll put a tickler in my file to check in with you. So then at other times it closes early and you don't know, right? Their brokerage is legally obligated by your referral agreement to send the referral amount to the office. So let's suppose the total referral amount is $10,000. They send a check, usually a check, to Keller Williams Advisors here, $10,000. The brokerage then deducts from that $10,000 that's coming to you. They deduct the Keller Williams commission and the royalty, and you get the rest. If you do an outbound referral where you are no longer the direct agent of the client, there's no PC or mentorship on that. It just doesn't count towards that. Okay. It just is, it's like blind. It's like hidden. It just doesn't matter. You only get charged for PC and mentorship on live deals that are in your name. All right. Any questions about how you get paid? Okay. So let's keep going. Okay. Thanks for being here. How do you get referrals? Okay. That's where I was starting at the beginning. I think I'm going to move this up to the top next time I teach this. How do you get referrals? Because it's great to get business. It's a lead, right? Number one, you can promote yourself via the Keller Williams Command Referral Network. Many people do that. They send emails saying, I would like to be a part of your referral network. I'm in Virginia and I want to send all my clients for the Bay Area to you. And I want you to send all your Bay Area clients to me. And they advertise. They send mass emails. They have email campaigns. They post messages. That's one way. Another way is to go to networking events, maybe on Zoom, where you get to meet realtors from out of area and tell them, hey, my name is Cynthia and I am building a referral-based business. And I noticed that you're in Stockton. I want to be your Bay Area realtor. And here's what I do to help my clients. And I would be a great agent for anyone you know moving to Stockton. In exchange for you sending them to me, I will send you everybody I get for Stockton. Okay. So promotion. You can do this via social media too, by the way. A lot of people advertise on social media. You can also advertise directly in the geography where the people are that you want to become known to, where the agents are that would have more likely to have agents coming to California. So let's suppose you wanted to have a whole strategy around this. There are documents you can research them online and via Google. What cities and states have more people moving to the Bay Area than other cities and
You
states?
can Google and.
Oh yeah, you can Google it. You can find a list of the top 10 people coming to the Bay Area, where they're coming from, even down to the city. Well, wouldn't that be great information to go? No. Then you go to the top 50, top 100 top producers, listing agents in those places, and advertise to them. You know, hey, Bill, I see that you sold 30 homes last year. If you ever have a client coming to the Bay Area, I would love to help your client. And you could even phone them and try to establish a telephone-based
So you
conversation.
do not know agents, right? I mean,
Sorry?
how do you find agents? I mean,
Well, you can use, if they're Keller Williams agents, you can find them using KW Command. We're going to look at that in a minute. But you can also call the local board of realtors. You can do a Google search. There may be ways to do it. Google. You can talk to a team leader or an agent services person in a Keller Williams office and ask them to do an MLS search for you in their MLS in real time while you're on the phone with them, or set up a meeting with one of the top producers or one of the productivity coach there. You can advertise digitally on Facebook, Twitter, and Facebook X, Instagram, LinkedIn, that you want to be a referral agent. And you can focus that advertising on specific locations if you wanted to, right? There's lots of ways to do that.
So it's not necessarily only KW agents. who
No,
can refer.
you can, any licensed real estate agent, doesn't even need to be a realtor. Any licensed real estate agent can be a legitimate person to get a referral from or send a referral to. If you build superior relationships with all the agents you interact with, you're going to get referrals. People are going to come to know you as a respectable professional person. That's what I was talking about this morning in the class about going to the weekly meetings, because you begin to become known as being a player, as being someone in the, and you build these great relationships, they'll refer you business. Another way let's suppose local agents, it's not just about out of area agents. If you have a good relationship with local agents, let's suppose one of them is going on a 2-month Caribbean, a 2-month cruise. If they're going on a 2-month cruise, then they need an agent to cover their business for them. It doesn't need to be your mentor. Maybe your mentor isn't the best person. You could pick anyone from this office or anyone from another Keller Williams office or any agent and say, I want you to cover my business while I'm away, and make a special deal with them. Or vice versa. Have them give you the opportunity to serve their clients while they're traveling or dealing with a family matter or whatever. So it's all about building relationships. The better you do at building relationships with other agents. There are some people who get in this business and they have very short-term thinking. Oh, I don't need to talk to Bill. He's in my office. I'm directly competing against him. There's no point me being nice to him. He's not going to get me business. That's the wrong way to think about it. Okay. All right. So we're talking about getting referrals. Now, how do you give referrals? So you need to find an agent for your client. You need to do some homework, but it's all front end loaded. So you can use the Keller Williams Command Referral Network. We're going to look at that in a minute. You can call team leaders, call sales managers. Hey, I'd like to talk to the team leader, please. Yes. Hi, Stephen. How can I help you? You know, I have a client moving to Spokane and Washington, and I just need a great agent from your office. They're a first-time buyer. They're a little bit nervous. I'm looking for someone who's got some experience with first-time home buyers, specifically in the Smithville neighborhood of Spokane. So you can phone and talk to the team leaders love these calls. It's inbound business for their brokerage. If it's not a Keller Williams office, they call them a sales manager, but it's the same thing, right? You can do internet searches. Someone said you should talk to Bill Smith in Utah, in Orem, Utah. Google him, see what's online about him. Okay, if you go to Zillow, sometimes you can find out their production.
Some people send request and comment for referral. Like See?
Yeah, I need an agent, can, you know, and they do a multi-search, like Yelp. You know how Yelp works, where you can find contractors in the neighborhood for
Yeah.
4 or 5 bids from them? That's not that much different. The other thing you can do is you can ask local agents about their favorite agents. So let's suppose you phone Bill Smith to be the agent. You looked him up, you have a conversation with him, said, you know, Mahi, I'd love to help your client. But sadly, I'm retiring next month. Or sadly, I'm going to be away on 6 months because of my family situation. Don't leave it at that and say, oh, thank you. Say, Bill, I really appreciate that. I'm glad you told me, because I wouldn't want to, for you to try to take on stuff that would be a hardship for you. Who do you know at your office who might be a good fit for what I'm looking for? So that's how you give referrals. So what we're going to do for the last part of this hour is we're going to use KW Command to find a referral agent. And then we will come back to this screen afterwards. So I am now going to go into my KW Command, and we'll use mine for this purpose. Sorry, I had meant to preload it. It'll just take a second. All right. So we go into KW Command. The referral part of this is reasonably robust, solid to use for this purpose. I use it all the time. I had 2 referrals I needed to find referral for in March. This was a great resource. Okay, so this is my personal command for my sales business. And down the left-hand side of all our commands, there's a there is a little teardrop with a face inside it. The teardrop with the face inside it is the referral section. So we click on that. Okay, click on that. And what we want to start with here is we want to start with the map. Click on map. Okay, and we want to find an agent in, give me a city.
Tucson, Arizona.
Tucson, Arizona, somebody in the room suggested. We can sort these agents that we find in Tucson by their production, the market center they belong to, whether they're already in our personal network, and referral patterns. That's going to focus today on production. And what you'll see, guys, is you'll see all these green and red pins. Okay. The red pins are markets, are where you've got multiple, I think it's multiple people in a very small geography. And the green pins are individuals, I think. Wow. So the red pins are the individuals. The green pins are, I said it backwards. Let's go back. Sorry. I apologize. Let's make it clearer. The red pins are individual agents. The green pins are way too many agents there, right? Look at all the neighborhoods. You don't want to ask your buyer that you're referring or your seller specifically just the city. You want to ask them specifically what is the neighborhood where they want to buy or they want to sell in. So let's suppose we're looking in Udall Park. We click on this, and now in Udall Park, we're going to have all these agents. Wow. Right? And at the right-hand side, these 18 agents show up, and we can immediately start sort of evaluating them. If you just click on their bullet and click the little red pin, you can find out more about them by clicking more info. And it jumps down to, let's see, when we click on more info, it brings them to the top, right? It brings them to the top of the results. Okay, so Adam Kraft is part of the Alpha Realty team. He's a luxury agent. That means he likes to sell high-end properties. He speaks English. If your client doesn't speak English, we have a problem right away. Now, he's closed 2 homes in this area, but he's closed 116 homes, 26 sellers, 92 buyers. In that area, the total volume in the last year, 39 million. This guy's selling houses. Even that's a good volume in our area too. His average deal size is $336,000. That reflects prices there. So if you have a client, that might be a great fit, right? Now, let's suppose you need someone who speaks a different language. Let's see if we can search by language. Let's just see. Yeah, no, it doesn't let you do that. Sorry. So you
And
can't do that.
These come up, Stephen, by like volume, like let's say me.
By
to
production
agent.
volume,
So
yeah.
then I'd be totally.
Here it is.
At the bottom of the list.
So if you don't, but if they click on your, so if you did a search by volume, but you're doing a search by map here. So it's just going to be who you click on. So let me show you the filtering too. Let's suppose you have 18 agents, you want only Spanish language speakers because your client speaks Spanish, or at least they speak Spanish as well as something else. When we apply the filter, we go down to this one agent, Daniel Gutierrez. So we click on Daniel Gutierrez. What happened there? We get his whole page, a bio, his service areas. But if we go back to where I didn't really mean to click on his whole page. I meant to go back to I want to see what it says here. So he has closed 1 sale there, 9 sales this year. It's early year to date. 1 listing, 6 buy sides, 3 million in volume. So he's not done anywhere near as much business, but that doesn't mean he isn't a good candidate. He speaks the language your client needs. Okay, so there's a bit of work for you to find something like these locations are kind of in a small geography where their office addresses is less important than this stuff at the right-hand side. So if we click on this person, this is James Servos of the Nikki and James Servos. It looks like a couple. So when we open this up, what do we find out about James? They only speak English. They've closed 1 sale, no volume, brand new. That doesn't mean you shouldn't call them. Well, that's how they've classified themselves, but they don't have any sales. So that is not attractive to us, right? Let's look at this one. Angela, Stratton Real Estate Group. She's on a team as well. Also a luxury agent. She sold 7 homes in the area. But something's funny here because it's not showing any numbers. So what I suspect is that she came over from another brokerage because this would probably just be this brokerage's, this Keller Williams numbers. What about this one? Who's this? This is Angela Kuzman. Let's see. Click more info. She shows up. Did we do her already? Sorry, I just did her again. Let's find somebody else. Oh, we did Adam. Sorry. Why am I getting the same people? Donna Reed. Huh. All right. Donna Reed closed 1 unit in this area, but no volume. That's a strange one too. We would expect some volume. Also luxury. What about this person up there? This is Angela. So they're showing up in multiple places. That's really interesting. Camille, Team Integrity, Tucson. Let's see what her about. Okay. 1 unit, no volume. So I don't know why we're not getting any volume information here. So anyway, you find 3 or 4 or 5 and you phone them. And when you phone a realtor and say, hey, I'm from Fremont, California, I might have a client for you. If you don't hear back from them within 4 hours, go to someone else. They should at least do you the courtesy of sending you a text message saying, I can't talk to you today, but I'm really interested. If they ghost you in the first 4 hours, that is telling you a lot. It's telling you that they're not good communicators. So I would give someone 4 hours max. Some people are even more, like you think about Zillow leads, right? The speed to lead, and you need to respond to these Zillow leads within like a minute. But for this sort of thing, you would expect anyone you reached out to be interested in getting business. So just like you would respond quickly, it's reasonable to expect they will respond quickly, even just to tell you, hey, I so much want to talk to you, but unfortunately I'm at my son is in the hospital today for a procedure and I'm just not going to be able to get to you today. Can we talk in the morning? Sure. But if they ghost you and don't do anything at all, that's not as good. Because if they treat you like that, they're going to treat your client like that too. Now, there are other features of this referral. There are other features of this referral system. So you can see on the dashboard page, I've got 10 pending invites, people who want me to be a referral agent with them. I don't have any pending referrals. I don't have any formally received or sent here right now, right? This referral network has 175 people that I've already agreed to connect with on KW Command. You can track your referrals. Let's suppose I want to grow my network. I can pick a bunch of agents, let's say in Tucson. How do I do this? And you can say, you can do send an invitation, a one-off invitation to them, or you can send the referral directly. I don't recommend you send the referral this way until you've had the phone conversation with them. But let's suppose you already did have the phone conversation. You come back in here, you send the referral request this way. Then it gets tracked and it'll actually be tied into your demand when you go to do the demand later. I think.
But other than this, we need to send referral fee agreement for signing, right?
Yes. Once you are ready to send these people to your client, you're going to send them the referral agreement. Now, we didn't talk about it yet in this context, but we have a few minutes. Where do you get the referral paperwork? It's in zip form. Thank you. It's in zip forms. So you go into zip forms. I'm going to go into my zip forms. Okay. Just so that we have a permanent record. This will be on the YouTube with the video forever. So if you go into your transaction library, I'm going to go into mine. And then we continue, and then we want to go, where's my test one? So we go into a transaction file. Somewhere here I have a test. Where is it? I can just do a search for it.
And then
test. Okay. You go into the test, you go into your client's file and you go to documents and you go to all forms and then you type in referral fee agreement. Just go back a bit. Yeah, referral fee agreement. You double click on it. That loads it into your file. Then you open it at the bottom of the page and then we fill it out. Now, referring broker, that's KW Advisors in whatever office you're in. I'm based in East Bay, but it might be Palo Alto, it might be Fremont, right? Whatever you do. The referring agent is you. So let's put in this name, okay? You put in your name there. Then you put in the office address. What's our office address here? Paseo Padre, right? Doesn't matter. Whatever the office is, office phone number. This is your phone number and your email address, okay? Then what is the broker for the person you're referring to? KW Tucson, Preferred Properties, whatever they call themselves, okay? What is their name? It's Greg Smith. What's their address, telephone number, email address? Who's your principal? Your client's name. They are the principal. Susanna March. Okay. Name, All right. In consideration for the receipt of the referral from the principal for the referring broker, the broker agrees to pay the referring broker as follows. 25% is the default, but that may or may not be what you agreed to. Whatever you agreed to, you put in the percentage there. Of the total gross compensation earned based only upon the principal side of the transaction, right? Or you can do dollar amounts too. You can cut a deal for $10,000 instead of the percentage. It's not common, but you could do it. In the event, as follows, in order for you to get paid, the event specified below occurs no later than 12 months from the date of this agreement. They're off the hook. Now, if you think it's going to take more than 12 months, change it. Put in 24 months here. Okay. And compensation is payable upon recording of the deed or other evidence of transfer resulting from the event specified below, whether closing occurs during or after the recording, after the expiration time of the deal. So check the appropriate box. Enters, your principal enters into a contract or has already entered into a contract to buy 27 Main. You could put in an address, 27 Main Street. Or you could say a property in Tucson. Or you could say any property in Arizona. Enters to or has already entered into a contract to sell. Same thing. Enters or has already entered into a contract to lease. Or some other thing. I don't remember ever using the other section here, but there's usage of it. Now notice at the bottom, the referring broker, KW Advisors, East Bay in my case, right? You could also just do KW Advisors, by the way, it won't matter. At the end of the day, what they really care about is the license number and the tax ID number. Broker or office manager. For our purposes, office manager is team leader. Broker is the designated broker. So for Palo Alto, that's Gene Gallagher. For Fremont and Oakland, it's Eddie Moran, okay? And you send it to them for digital signature and you print their name at the bottom because you're a very thoughtful agent and you're considered and professional. And then you put in the brokerage DRE number.
0134526.
That's the one for Fremont office. Whatever it is. The tax ID number, you don't know the tax ID number, ask the broker or ask if you ask the admin. Ask Harshita for Fremont, ask Connor for Oakland, and ask Cole for Palo Alto, right? And then you put on the other side the name of the brokerage getting KW, getting the referral. And you can put in, you can leave this blank actually. Leave it blank, leave this blank, because that is going to be filled in by the other side. Then you send it digitally for signature. And notice your buyer or your seller you're referring out, they don't sign this. And guess who else doesn't sign it? You don't sign it, okay? But you absolutely want to get a copy of it when it's fully signed. You want to facilitate the whole transfer of the information. So that can all be very, very, just the mechanics of it, right? You know, there are absolutely agents who make money and all they do to make money is do referrals. That's their business model, if you will. Sorry, I'm trying to get out of this so I can, we got so many windows open. This is a lead gen strategy. You guys could decide that you want to be referral kings and queens and do business that way. And it's a whole thing. And I'm happy to sit down and talk to anybody about it. So that being said, that's more or less what I had today. Does anyone on Zoom have any questions, or does anyone here in the room have any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So for our own KW command to put ourselves as a referral, you know how you showed us how we
Yeah.
can just blast
Yeah.
ourselves. We would then update our bio and all that. We could do that
Yes.
ourselves.
Yes. Your bio is very important. I hate it when I'm looking for a referral agent and there's nothing there, or what they have there is really generic. So personalize your bio for this purpose. Absolutely. Because sometimes people will go looking for you and you don't know they're looking for you, right?
And then how do I know if I'm open for referrals? Because I guess there was something that the marketing team sends you and it said that I was not open for referrals or something like that.
Show me what it was. My feeling is as soon as you have a pin on here, you're open for referrals. Every agent does.
Okay.
So if
I have to
somebody told you that,
double
I'd like to learn more about that.
Okay. I have to
Because technically you're all open to do referrals inbound and outbound. And by the way, our officers have a referral agent status. If you don't want to sell directly anymore, you can just do referrals outbound. Send your leads to wherever. Let's suppose you don't want to do real estate full time. You want to go back to your other job or whatever, some other thing. And yet you've got all these buyers and sellers. You just refer them to you become a referral only agent status and refer them to agents at your brokerage. As long as you keep your license current with the brokerage, you pay a small admin fee every month. And that gets dwarfed by all the referral income you earn without really having to do anything except, as we've discussed, stay in touch. So. Does anyone on Zoom have any questions?
I have a quick question on
Yeah.
the client as such. So do we need to have set up like a broker representation agreement with the client, or is it just like anybody whom we can
That's a
refer
great
out?
question. Your referral has a lot more credence if the person has chosen you as their agent. However, if the person and you have a conversation and they say to you, I'd love to work with you, but I want to buy in Mississippi, you can still do an outbound referral without having a formal agreement in writing with the buyer, you or the seller. What the important piece of paper here is the agreement that you're sending a lead to these people and they're going to pay you a referral fee. Your status as the legal agent to show property or the legal agent to list their home is less relevant here.
Okay.
Yeah. So the short answer is no.
Right, thanks.
That's a great question, by the way. All right. All right. With that said, I appreciate you guys' time. You'll see on this screen a QR code. With this QR code, you can request a copy of the slide deck from this presentation, and my assistant will send it to you. When you get to the form, the Google form that comes up from this QR code, it'll ask you what presentation you went to. And this one is called Easy Money. It's like second or third from the top of the list. Easy Money, Getting Agent Referrals is the name of the class. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all being here. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.